pieces. They are bound together with a tow strap, and then the one actually has pieces of conduit in it, and then the other one has like a flotation like piece of foam in it. So the bigger one sinks to the bottom, the one with the foam in it stays at the surface. So part of our job in thinking of different enrichment or toys for our animals is thinking of all different kinds of ways that they can interact with things. Some things are at the surface, some things are heavy and sink down, some things are high durable plastic. You can see that yellow cylinder over there. So we have high density plastic. We have fire hose because it can withstand a lot of force. It doesn't rip or tear. We also have edible enrichment, so we can make things out of ice or gelatin, all kinds of fun things. And these are just things that we give our animals to help encourage species-specific behavior or natural behaviors, and also just to enhance our environment and have something for them to play with throughout the day. Now what we're going to do here is going to be a couple of different types of sessions. Throughout our day, we do all different types of interactions or sessions with our animals. We do all of their training as far as their health care, as far as their exercise, their show behaviors, learning new behaviors, all of that kind of stuff. So each of these whales is kind of be doing their own little session for you guys in here. So right here in front of our slide out, we have our trainer Danny, and this is killer whale Kamea. Kamea is 8 years old. She was born right here at SeaWorld San Antonio. Her mom is actually Takara on the very far side of the pool over there. Takara is the mom to both Kamea and Sakari. Sakari is our 12-year-old hanging out over in the middle. So Kamea and Sakari were born right here at SeaWorld San Antonio. Now, Danny is working on a very new behavior with Kamea. So we are training her the very, very basic steps of a behavior. A lot of people ask us, how do you guys train them to do all those things? How long does it take you? Well, we use very, very small steps, which we call successive approximations, or baby steps, and we teach them that along the way, and we tell them good job along the way. So Kamea is going to learn a behavior where the end result of the behavior is we will ask her to swim out into the middle of the pool, and then she will swim back to us with her head up, and she will be making that clicking sound. Did you guys hear that low-pitched clicking that she was making? So the end behavior should be her swimming out to the middle of the pool, coming up in the center, and swimming back to us clicking. So what Danny is doing right now is just starting with that clicking behavior. She's saying, I'm going to ask you to do a behavior where you're clicking like this. And then, probably the next step will be go a little bit further away and then click. And then go a little bit further away and then click. And then eventually call her back and now say, click as you're swimming back to me. So all of these little tiny steps that we want to teach Kamea, we make it really, really fun along the way. We give her all kinds of reinforcement, whether it's food or a pectoral flipper rub right here, or one of those toys can go back in. All of those things are saying, yep, you're clicking, that's what I'm asking you to do, let's have a lot of fun. So very, very small steps to build into that bigger behavior. And Danny asked Kamea to slide up on here so you guys can get a better look at her entire body. Yes, there she is. So Kamea, like I said, is 8 years old. This is actually our smallest killer whale right here. She is weighing in at just over 3,000 pounds. When she is fully grown, she will be closer to 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. Now you can see her striking coloration. She has a black, white, and gray all along her body. This is called disruptive coloration. It actually breaks up the size and shape of their bodies. So when a pod of whales is swimming together, that black, white, and gray, those eye patches, and then down towards their back, and then the gray on their back, it breaks up their body shapes, so it decides their numbers. So you can't tell if it's 5 killer whales, 10 killer whales, because all prey items are going to see is just some black, white, and gray, and they can't tell how many killer whales it is. So that is disruptive coloration, and that is one of the abilities to have them be one of the top predators in the ocean, because they can sneak up on their prey when they're hiding their numbers like that. So we have a question up here, what do killer whales eat in the wild? Well, it depends on the type of killer whale. So killer whales here at SeaWorld, we give them a diet that's based off of 6 different types of fish. Killer whales out in the ocean, there are some types of killer whales that stay in one place and they eat a food source there. There's a very widely studied population of killer whales called the southern resident killer whales. They live off of the coast of Washington, and they prey on a certain species of salmon. That is their main food source. However, there's killer whales that go all throughout the ocean, and they may eat just whatever they can find that day. It may be a type of fish, it may be a pelican, it may be an octopus, it may be a blue whale, it may be, they just kind of swim and they see what they can find. So killer whales as apex predators can prey on anything out in the ocean, anything that they want. So they actually have no natural predators. There is nothing that will prey on a healthy killer whale. They have no natural predators, so that makes them the apex predator because they can prey on any and everything below them. Now Takara is going to do a similar slide out behavior this time, but she is going to travel towards the longer wall over there. She is. So this slide behavior is actually a natural behavior that killer whales do out in the ocean, and we have just taught them to do this here on our shallow slide out to demonstrate that. That may be something they would do to slide up and scoop a seal into the water, or they can slide up and scoop something else into the water. So they prey on things in the water. They use different abilities to hunt and prey things in the water. They can also slide up and knock things from the surface into the water there. So that was Takara demonstrating a little bit of that slide behavior. Takara is going to demonstrate a couple more of those killer whale vocalizations. So we heard Kamea with that clicker when she was learning the pieces of her behavior. So Takara is going to demonstrate a couple more of these vocalizations. Very cool, right? Yes. Now, even though the guys up here, you can probably see her mouth was cracked open a little bit. However, those sounds were not coming out of their mouth. Killer whales do not have vocal cords, so they do not make sounds out of their mouth. The sounds are actually coming from the blowhole on the top of her head. Sakari is making some sounds over there for my guys over by the columns. So that blowhole on top of their head, they expel air out of it and they manipulate the blowhole to make those different pitches and sounds. So those higher clicks and whistles that you guys have heard, those may be more of a form of communication for the killer whales, whereas the lower pitch sounds may be more of a form of echolocation. So they do utilize their vocals not only for communication with the other whales, but they can also utilize some of those vocalizations for echolocation, which is where they get kind of a mental picture of their surroundings. So they send out sound waves that bounce back to them. Now, a couple of you guys had asked me some questions while you were eating your lunch about how we tell our killer whales apart. Now that you guys have seen Kamea and Takara a little bit more up close, can you see little differences in how we may be able to tell them apart? So Takara is a little bit bigger, right? Kamea is just over 3,000 pounds. Takara's 4,500 pounds. Takara, her dorsal fin on her back is very, very straight and very, very triangular. If you do look closely, it does have a notch about halfway down on her dorsal fin, whereas you can see Kamea's dorsal fin does have a little bit more of a curve to it. It curves back more like a dolphin's dorsal fin. Takara also has a very prominent birthmark on her chin. So my guys that were up here in the front, you can see that. It's a little bit lighter brown color. So when killer whale calves are born, the white parts of their body, so their eye patch and their underside, are going to be almost like a cappuccino color. They're a little bit of a light tan. That helps those killer whale calves blend in to their moms when they are nursing. So killer whales are mammals. Those calves do nurse for about a year to a year and a half. So that lighter tan color is going to help them blend in when they're nursing underneath their mothers. As they get older, that becomes whiter and whiter, and that front part of Takara's chin just never got fully white. So just like people have birthmarks, scars, freckles, all of those kind of things, that's something that's very, very prominent on Takara. A lot of people will bring us pictures from back in the day, and they say, oh, this whale, and you can see that birthmark. So we know that that's Takara. So that is, like I said, one of the easiest ways to tell her apart. She is one of the most recognizable killer whales here at SeaWorld San Antonio because she has that very, very clear birthmark. Now Casey has asked Sakari to go get some of that gelatin, so we were talking a little bit about their enrichment. So she has a piece of gelatin here. And this is just sugarless, unflavored gelatin. It's called Knox gelatin. You may have seen it in your local baking aisle. We just mix it here with water. We make it a little bit dense. And then we add the food coloring more for our own enjoyment than the whales. And so we'll make different shapes and sizes of different molds, and they'll play with them. It's something that they can ingest if they choose to. All right, Kamea is going to come join us again. Takara and Kamea are going to slide out right here in our shallow area for you guys. And that is a beautiful picture. Again, you can see a lot of that size difference and a little bit of those markings on them. So. And I do think that this will probably conclude our interaction portion. I hope you guys got to see the killer whales up close a little bit more and learn something. They are going to give you a great big killer whale wave. Goodbye. We want to thank you guys again so much for choosing to spend part of your day back here with us at Dine With Orcas. We are going to start setting up for our 1:45 Orca Encounter presentation that will take place up in our main pool out there. We will ask with your cooperation in helping us clear this area by 1 o'clock so we can make sure that we're set up for our presentation. But the good news is you guys can go right out that ramp, hook a left, and then you guys can go right back in and grab a seat if you would like to. That stadium will open shortly for our Orca Encounter. Again, we want to thank you guys for spending your afternoon here with us, and we hope you have a wonderful day here at SeaWorld.